Good morning, good morning, family. Today is a great Friday. It is May 9th. I had just been in study. I have definitely been in worship yesterday. I fasted all day and I started to read a lot of the messages from Minister Louis Farrakhan. If most of you, if you don't know, or if you haven't researched, he's the leader of the Nation of Islam. He presents a view about happiness that's deeply rooted in spiritual, moral, and communal fulfillment. Those are the three structures that he incorporates when he's talking about happiness. And it's not so much about it being material success or fleeting pleasures. Through his speeches and different writings, from what I have gathered and just in my research, he talks about key points. So I want to just go over those key points of what I've learned, just to share the information. I just feel like if I know it, it's great. But if I'm able to go ahead and help the masses, I feel like that's even better. So the first one that I want to talk about is alignment with divine purpose. We see a lot of the times people are lost. People don't know what they want to do. They're confused. They may not have a person to mentor them. They might even have parents that they don't know what they're doing. So it's the blind leading the blind, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Farrakhan always talks about true happiness comes from alignment with one's life and the will of God or Allah. He often emphasizes obedience to divine laws and living a righteous life as an essential to inner peace and fulfillment. So you have to have a law, a decorum about yourself. You know what I'm saying? To hold yourself accountable, to check in with yourself. You're not going to have that if you don't have that type of structure. Those are things that are essential if you want to find true happiness. It's not going to come from, like I said, those material things. So you need to check yourself. Hey, do I have a divine law? Do I have a connection with something that holds me accountable? If not, that's something you need to work on. Okay, so the next thing that I learned in my readings that Farrakhan speaks about is self-knowledge and identity. One of the biggest things I feel like in our culture that we need to know about is our history. If we don't know our history, we're destined to repeat it. You know what I'm saying? Farrakhan stresses the importance of us understanding oneself, especially when it comes to Black people. We need to reclaim our culture and spiritual identity. Happiness, from his perspective, states that it's connected to the knowledge of oneself and one's history. We have to know where we came from. We have to understand our roots so we know where we're going. And that's basic knowledge. You need to do that. Where did you come from? Where does your people come from? What is your background? If you don't know that, you're going to be lost. That is an essential part of your roadmap. Okay, so the next discipline, pretty much, that I learned about with studying Minister Farrakhan was moral discipline. This is something that I know myself, I struggle with, and a lot of my peers in our modern day society, we struggle with, because we are a fleshly society. He speaks about associating happiness with moral living, avoiding drugs, promiscuity, dishonesty, and other destructive behaviors. He promotes strong family structure and personal responsibility. Those are all things that I think everybody struggles with. It's a constant thing. I have to constantly repent on certain things. I have learned to get a better discipline on certain things, but I'm a work in progress. But I definitely have to do sit downs and self talks with myself like, hey, should I be doing this, or is this the will of Allah? Is this the will of God? And when I fall short, I ask for forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not perfect. He knows I'm not perfect. But I'm still willing to do the work to become a better person, you know? Okay, family. So the next principle that I learned about was justice and liberation. And I feel like everybody can relate to that due to the social climate that we're currently in with our justice and judicial system. According to Farrakhan, happiness also involves a collective progress. He links personal joy to the liberation of oppressed communities and the pursuit of justice, equality, and self determination. Look at those three things: pursuit of justice. What are you doing to help people that may be around you that are marginalized, that have faced injustice? What are you doing to know your own rights? Do you know your own rights? Equality. I find it disheartening the fact that we are now in 2025 and we're still as a mass community, as a diaspora of people, still having to justify why we deserve things as human beings. It makes no sense to me. But I do make sure those and those around me are made self-aware of what we need to do as a people to become better. If we know better, we have to do better, for sure. Self-determination, that's the next thing that it talks about. Hold on. Are you determined? Do you have discipline to be determined to complete something? What are your goals? What are things that you have set or you written down for yourself to complete that you have to hold yourself accountable for? Those are things that we all have to sit down and talk about. Okay, you guys, so this last one, this fifth discipline, it touches me the most because I love being of service. It is one of my love languages. And you should be a service to others. Farrakhan often speaks about happiness being found in serving others and working for the upliftment of humanity and especially the disenfranchised. So if you know people are struggling, if you know that you have the ability to help others, do it. Don't do it because you want to gain notoriety, you want people to notice, you want to go ahead and share a post. No. If you see a person hungry, feed them. You see a mother in need, help her. You see a man in need, help him. One thing I always do at least a few times a month is I like to go ahead and volunteer. I like to be of service. I went to Bethune-Cookman University. When you enter any of the buildings there at that black HBCU, it says on top of every door, enter to learn. And when you exit out of that same entrance, it says depart to serve. And I took that very seriously, that no matter where I've moved to, even when I was living in Nashville, I loved going and getting up early and volunteering and helping in the soup kitchen. Even now, helping, donating clothes, just being of service. It costs me nothing, but it's so fulfilling to me. You know, volunteering. Not a lot of the times we get caught up on, oh, well, that's costing me money, or I'm not getting paid for that. So to do something nice, you got to always be paid. You got to look at where's your heart at. But yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit of the things that I'm working on me and I'm trying to improve on. And in turn, maybe it can help you. I hope you guys are having an amazing, amazing day. I hope you guys have an amazing Mother's Day weekend. To all my moms out there, love and cherish your children. Protect them, guide them. And I'll talk to you later.